Okay, guys, we are back. God, I had to get different headphones. My headphones started to die. The one way of thinking about what Romeo is doing, the way he talks, would be to think about somebody who listens to too many love songs, and then they fall in love with you, and every time they see you, they sing you these love songs that they're just like rip-offs of other people's love songs. That's essentially what Romeo is doing here. Is that he's read too many love poems, and so he talks like a love poem all the time. Although he snaps out, I mean, he starts to kind of change when he meets Juliet. But at the beginning of the play, the poems, the stuff he's writing to Rosalind at the beginning of the play about, heavy lightness, bright smoke, cold fire. These are all like cheesy poetry things. It's exactly like somebody writing you a love song that feels very similar to every other love song you've ever heard. So Juliet, in this scene, he identifies himself, right? He says he doesn't know how to answer her. He says he starts speaking, and she says, like, who are you? She doesn't know who he is, and he doesn't know how to call himself. He says, by name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to thee. And she says she knows that it's him. She wants to know, how camest thou hither, tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here. So she says, this is like a deadly place. Like, how did you even get in this garden? If any of my family members see you, they'll kill you, because our families are at war. And Romeo goes back on his bullshit. With love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out, and what love can do, that dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no stop to me. Now, first of all, how did he get over the walls? She asks him, because she's in a garden with these big high walls, because she's like sort of in a castle-looking kind of thing. And she says, how'd you get over the walls? And he says, with love's light wings. Because when you think about love, Venus, aka Aphrodite, is the goddess of love. Her child Eros, aka Cupid, has little wings. Even though Cupid, he's like a boy with wings. He's got a bow and arrow. He's sort of the image or symbol or metaphor of love. Again, the cheesiest, commonest, most normal metaphor for love. Romeo goes for it. And he says, she says, how'd you get over the walls? And he says, Cupid helped carry me over the walls, because Cupid has wings, so he doesn't care about walls. And he's carrying Romeo. Because Romeo is in love, so he's like Cupid. Cupid has wings, so Romeo has wings, so Romeo gets over the walls. He's back on his bullshit, which is the standard, normal way of talking about these things. And Juliet's smarter than that. And she's worried about him, because he's going to die. Because Romeo's like, I don't care, your kinsmen, thy kinsmen are no stop to me, because love makes him feel all powerful. Well, Juliet knows love is not all powerful. She says, if they do see thee, they will murder thee. Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Again, more danger in her eye, because he says that her eyes, if she looks at him like she doesn't like him, like she doesn't love him, he'll die. And that's more dangerous to him than swords. Again, very normal, standard thing to say in poetry. To talk about how the woman you love, her eyes are more dangerous to you than swords. He's just, this is how poetry guys talk. By the way, in the Renaissance, they believed that, not really believed, it was kind of a mythology of the day, that sort of the eyes would sort of shoot things out. And that when you fall in love, someone's eyes would sort of look into your eyes and shoot beams in there that would make you fall in love. So he's sort of saying, like, if you hate me and, it's going to kill me, it's like something shooting out of your eyes. So he's being very goofy here. There's more peril, but look thou sweet, and I am proof against thy enmity. Meaning, if look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity. Meaning, if you love me, I'll be invincible, and they won't be able to kill me, which is bullshit. And she knows it. She says, I would not for all the world they saw thee here. Like, she doesn't want, I don't want you to be seen here. They will kill you, and the fact that I love you is not going to protect you against their actual fucking weapons. Oh, hey, kitties are fighting. Look at these cats. Where'd he go? Big cat over there, and there's another cat over there. They're going to get in a big fight, and they're going to start yelling. Oh, here we go, guys. It's a kitty fight. Where's the other kitty? They're going to start yelling at each other. Guys, don't get in a fight, guys. Oh, this is going to be a problem. Oh boy, it's an actual cat fight, you guys. Be cool, you guys. Maybe they're going to be okay. All right. So Romeo says, I'm very distracted by the cat fight. So Romeo's being very goofy here because he's like, oh, if you love me, I'm invincible. And she's like, dude, if they see you, they will actually kill you with actual swords. You need to leave. Again, she's smarter than he is. And his whole brain is hardwired to think in terms of romantic poetry, and she's thinking about life and death and real things. Romeo says, I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes. Again, that's a metaphor from romantic poetry, that night is like a cloak that hides you. I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes. But thou love me? Let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death proruged wanting of thy love, right? Meaning, if you don't love me, I'll die. I'd rather die on their swords than die because you don't love me. And she says, by whose direction foundst thou this place? You see how her questions are all practical? He's giving her goofy, fantasy, mythology answers. How'd you get over the walls? Well, I have wings from love. That Cupid gave me wings, and I used love's wings to fly over the walls. My family members will kill you. Love will protect me. It'll make me, if you love me, I'm invincible. And she continues to act like actual real questions that need answering. Right at the top of 9, she says, by whose direction found out this place? Like, how did you even get here? How did you even know where I was? And he says, by love. Again, he can't stop. By love that first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes. I am no pilot. He doesn't know where to go. Yet wert thou as far as that vast shore washed with the farthest sea, I should adventure for such merchandise. So he says, a pilot is like a person who, like the captain of a ship. And he says, I don't know how to get there, but love guided me. And love is guiding me now, and love guided me to you. Do you see how he hasn't actually answered any of her questions? Right? She was like, how'd you get over the wall? Love got me over the wall. How did you even know where I was? Love guided me. Like, these are not real. My family members will kill you. Love will protect me. No, seriously, dude, they will fucking murder you. She's asking really serious questions here. And then she gives a much larger speech in response to this, because he's being very goofy, and she has a much bigger speech. And by the way, she's asking practical questions, and he's talking like cheesy love poetry. But he loves her. He really does. And she loves him. She really does. It's just that she's smarter than he is. Although she's still very, very much in love. So she goes on and reveals a kind of important point in the play. Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. She says she's embarrassed because he overheard her talking to herself about how much she loved him. Fain, meaning truly. Truly when I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment. This is an important point in the play. Usually, in romantic stories, what happens is two people, one person loves someone else, or two people love each other, but one of them won't say it. Maybe they're too embarrassed, or they're too shy, or they feel like in order to get the person, they have to pretend like not to really be into them, to kind of, sort of test them, or say, if they get asked out on a date, they'll say no a couple of times, play hard to get. That's often what whole romantic plays are about: people who love each other, but one of them doesn't know it, or both of them don't know it. I'm sure you've seen movies where it starts off with a couple fighting with each other the whole time, and they just hate each other, but you're like, they're really in love with each other, though. There's some reason why they won't say if they're in love or not. In Romeo and Juliet, that doesn't happen, because Romeo sneaks into the garden, and she says, I love you. To Romeo. She says, I love Romeo. She's talking to herself, but he overhears it. So immediately she can't play hard to get. She can't pretend she doesn't love him. She can't make him wait. She can't wait a couple of days to email him. He knows immediately. And so the normal things that women do in these stories is they pretend they don't love the guy back, or they give the guy a hard time, or they say, you have to do these challenges to win my love. It's too late. He overheard her say that she loves him. And so she can't pretend she doesn't. And she doesn't really want to pretend. She's glad he knows, because they're overall the game playing bullshit. They don't have to do all that game playing of pretending you like a person, asking he wrote me a letter. Do you think it means he really likes me? It's too late. He said he loved her. She said she loved him to herself. He overheard it, and that's it. They both know they're in love with each other. It's one of the things. This play goes fast. And it's one of those things in the play that goes really fast, is that because he overheard her confessing her love, they end up getting to the love stuff much faster than most couples and stories do.